So then when you came out with the storage room, I was like, oh my God, is she crying? Like, we were trying
I literally went to the storage room to get cookie dough.
I know, but we didn't.
To feed your pregnancy cravings.
Don't say that. Sam, there's feet. And I'm not pregnant.
I know you're
literally
not.
have my period.
But at the time, I got scared.
I know. Do you understand that there's someone that writes down everything we say and then people talk about it on a podcast?
What podcast?
I don't know. That's what Cliff said.
That's awesome.
No, that's not, because I don't want that to be a topic of discussion.
No, you got your period today.
It was never.
Big brother gossip is a dangerous game. Big brother gossip is a dangerous game. Big brother gossip is a dangerous game.
Big brother gossip.
But are you conspiring against me?
No, I'm actually not.
I'm conspiring about trying to make a showmance with you. I'm asking them the pros and cons of it right now.
Pros are that I might be gone next week, so you can get another showman. So it'd be, 2 for 1. Con, I'm slightly crazy.
If you're hot, you can touch me with that.
Yeah.
If your toes were on Tinder, they would get a lot of swipes.
Why don't you wear stuff like that more often?
Because I'm not playing this game with my body. I'm playing with my brain and my heart and my soul.
I am not about to have a man have any influence on my game.
That's what I came in here to do, is to spread nothing but love and not fill this house with animosity and hatred.
Bitches get stitches, my friend. I don't know what that's to do with the situation, but I just always wanted to say that about everything.
I'll never understand women.
Big brother gossip.
9:40 this morning. The universe was shaking my bladder to make me pee.
Nicole's line is, I don't think
I thought her line was, I'm a straight shooter. I mean what I say what I mean what I say.
She's a straight shooter, but she's using freaking shotgun shells. She's blasting her path.
I said, you guys, I'm a straight shooter.
There was speakings of an all-women's alliance, and that you were kind of the head of that thing.
Get the fuck out of here.
I know.
Someone told him I'm a mastermind of the Female Girls Alliance.
A mastermind?
Yeah, me.
I think it's like a given that you're the 9.
It's what that's an 8-person alliance.
These bitches conspiring against me?
Why the fuck would anyone say anything of secretism in front of a fucking person that's clearly not something he was awake 20 minutes before?
Is it harder to have fun because you're in the game? I'm not in the game. Kind of. I'm not really in the game like you guys. So
I feel like you're still in the game. Like, I didn't start watching Big Brother till the week before I came here.
Yeah.
So I don't know shit.
Okay. No one realizes it. They're fine.
Okay.
Here's not really doing anything.
If she brings up my fucking bracelets and my fucking grandmother, I swear to God, I will bury her.
And my cat checking our water.
You can suck my fucking dick, literally.
Big brother gossip.
I'm sorry, I'm not fucking playing. This is not the Jack show. This is not the Jack show, and apparently everybody thinks it is. This thing is huge.
I've never experienced it.
And there's dick energy involved.
It's big dick energy.
I know, but I didn't want to say that on... But yes, the rumors are true.
So, Sage, you're kind of a cornhole expert now, aren't you?
I wish.
I'm gonna smack that ass.
Oh my God, do you want me to leave?
Bro, I'll have you watch. I pants this girl and smack that bottom.
I'll watch it.
It really is a platonic showman.
Platonic showman.
It's a very platonic showman.
Without any of the romantic anything.
That's what platonic means.
I like fucking girls.
This is bullshit because I didn't know she was gay until day 4, so I'd already liked her, so it doesn't count.
Your eyes are like chocolate, like Nutella.
Is that good or bad?
I understand he's an alpha male. Like, I see the fucking pissing contests he has with, all the other alpha males in his house. You know what I mean?
Nobody
just... Huh?
A pissing contest?
Yeah.
They literally piss.
No.
I manifested the HOH room. I manifested the theme of the house. I literally manifested being camp. Yeah.
Good, I'm bored off my ass. I'm losing my mind.
I'm losing mine from boredom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's med time.
They give you mints every day?
Yeah.
They give them to you?
Yeah. Because they're it's like a controlled substance, I guess. I don't know.
Got it.
And Christy's now is it's just constant.
I'm literally not talking today. I'm just laying down by the pool and just relax.
And also, right now, I can find out if the bitches really were conspiring against me.
We've never heard that line before from you, Catherine.
Big brother gossip.
You know, I don't get the smile on my face that I used to when I hear cat talk.
I
Don't
wonder
know
why.
why. We'll be talking about that in a little bit. Hi, everybody. It is the Big Brother Gossip Show. I am Scott Hudson, one of your hosts, and I'm joined by the ultimate dog lover, my co-host of Day Drinking and the Day Drinking Bonus Show, Miss Colette Lala.
Good evening, gentlemen.
How's the West Coast?
Wonderful. Great weather today. I think it was like 12% humidity out. It's very nice, very lovely. I'm not sick anymore.
Thank God.
Yeah, that was a nightmare. That was a nightmare.
Not just for you.
As well. Shut up. Shut up. So yeah, I will be out here for one more week.
No, fun. And of course, he's the man with the car cast. He's also our technical advisor of the Big Brother Gossip Show.
Okay.
I don't know why I said that. It just kind of came to my head. Hi, Mike.
Sure. Hi, Scott. Hi, Colette. Hi, everybody.
Yeah, we are on. We're not just on Mixer tonight, by the way. We're on YouTube.
That's true.
We're experimenting with YouTube again.
You neglected to tell me that, Scott.
Well, it was kind of up in the air until it actually worked.
We said it, but you were scrambling to do other things.
I told you I was. Oh, so you talked about all the important things when I turned my volume down. Got it.
That's how it works.
What other surprises am I in store for today?
The key is that it hasn't crashed yet, which the last time we tried this, it had crashed by now.
That's right. That's right. Maybe that's why I didn't tell you. That's why I didn't tell anybody, because it could have been dead by now. Well, there's one other thing. I don't know if you heard this too, but we figured out when we're going to do our finale. Oh, you were the one. It was Mike that was away from the computer when we figured that out. Yes. The season 21 finale, or our season 10 finale, we will be recording on Friday night. We will have more details later in the week. We're looking at probably like a half hour later than we normally do this show. So we'll have all the deets on the social media later. I don't know about you, but I'm happy to get rid of this season.
Yes.
It's time. It's time.
Well, this is how we feel about every season. How many seasons have we said at this point? I wish it was going another month.
I've never said that. You're right.
No,
I've never said that. So again, we have to thank all of you people that help us out throughout the year, including our merch site, bigbrothergossip.threadless.com. We saw some pictures last week that made me very, very happy. Actually, it was right before we did the show last Saturday. The woman who bought 3 shirts.
You check your Twitter real quick, Scott. We just got another picture of a huge fan of ours, Jennifer Darby. She is looking amazing.
Oh, look at her.
Stop the Hypocrisy shirt. I love her shirt. And seriously, you guys, that Stop the Hypocrisy shirt, it's so applicable to everything, especially these days. I definitely need to get, I really like those colors she chose too.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Cool.
I like that. Yeah, she looks amazing. Thank you, Jennifer. That looks so good.
So again, it's bigbrothergossip.threadless.com. We got Stop the Hypocrisy, Keep Calm and Listen to Colette, Conspiracy Corner, Day Drinking, Big Brother Gossip. We got all kinds of stuff there. And it's all fantastic. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
And we also, of course, have to thank our Patreons, patreon.com/bigbrothergossip. Hey, it's the end of the season. If you've liked what we've listened to, what you've heard all season long, you know, if you go to Patreon now and sign up and just toss us a couple bucks. There's only 2 episodes left. So it's not going to, you know, it's a little thank you to us.
It's a guarantee. You know what you're going to have left. Just do it. What the heck? If you've been waiting all year because you only wanted to give us 50 cents or you can do $1, then sign up for $1. Yeah, well, some people.
And of course, one of the things that you get with your Patreon, if you sign up at the correct level, is you get to listen to, what's the show called, Ms. Lala?
Day Drinking with
Day
Scott
Drinking with Scott and
Colette.
Colette.
Yes, Day Drinking is amazing. And we have so much fun there. We've had a lot of new listeners, a lot of people chiming in. We got people participating on our Twitter and whatnot. We do one little bit of it. We do some TCM stuff. That totally turns you off and you're absolutely against it, don't worry. It's literally one little section of the show. The entire second half of the show is everything premiering on TV, on streaming, on HBO, Showtime, Stars, channels like that. With Christmas coming up, I will be telling you about all the new Hallmark Christmas movies on the schedule.
Yeah, I'm so thrilled about that.
I was talking to some guy today. He's like, I didn't know you talked about Hallmark Christmas movies on Day Drinking. I was like, oh yes, we do. Yes, we do. And someone else like was tweeting me the other day about check out the country music show on PBS. It's like we talked about that 2 weeks ago, a week before it premiered. There's no show you can tell me about that our listeners already didn't know a week in advance. And here's the thing, it's September. So tons of premieres every week. We tell you about them. You will never, ever, ever miss one. Lifetime movies, Netflix premieres, all kinds of stuff on like Access or Nat Geo, Investigation Discovery. We're going to tell you all about everything. Don't worry about that. And on the Bravo bonus show, we're doing The Real Housewives of Orange County and The Real Housewives of Dallas.
Yes. And these.
Yes. And we do day drinking all year round. So if you just sign on to be a Patreon right now at patreon.com/BigBrotherGossip because you want to, give us $2 as a thank you for the entire summer, that would be wonderful. But then once you sign up, we will give you instructions on how to get day drinking for the rest of the year. But Scott and I podcast every week.
Yes, my liver says thank you. And of course, we have to thank our super executive producers. I'm always so happy now to mention Stephen Darby, Mr. War Eagle. I've become an Auburn football fan, and the Big Brother Gossip Show is the official good luck charm of the Auburn football team. It ended like shortly before we went on air today. Auburn won. They were ahead 28-3 against whose team? Cliff's favorite team.
Yes, that's sweet. I'm now an Auburn fan.
I sent Scott a message that's like Auburn won. And Scott said, "Yeah, I know, I'm watching."
Yeah,
it was like all right,
it was 28-3 with a few minutes left in the fourth quarter. Cliff's team came back in, but they still lost 28-20. 28-20.
Really?
Yes, really.
Oh, my sister likes the really, by the way.
Well, everybody should. And also we have to thank, now this is going to be a little bit different. Our super executive producer is Matt Gray, who reached out to me today. He wants to give some props to his wife of almost 19 years, Andrea. She's the publisher of Retro Hip Magazine, a bi-monthly crafty and lifestyle publication aimed at all types of crafters and makers. We are determined to inspire creative makers and women who long for a throwback that meets them in the modern era. Every issue includes crafty inspiration, digital printables, and leaves you feeling happy and inspired. You can get yours today at retrohipco.com/shop. That's retrohipco.com/shop. And they're on Instagram at Retro Hip Magazine. So that's very nice, Matt. Letting your wife get a little promotion in after how many weeks of self-promotion?
I know a knitter she should interview.
I do too. In fact, that knitter has a connection with the Grays.
Yeah. So. Oh yeah, Cinnamits. I have been knitting them on my trips. Cinnamits. You guys who ordered them, they're going to be going out not this week, next week. The second I get back home, you guys will be getting your Cinnamits delivered.
And then there's also our executive producers.
Well, we have a new one this week that's very exciting. Julia Barnes. She is a world famous mixologist.
Of course she is.
She created a special Big Brother Gossip Show cocktail for tonight. It is served in a hollowed out dildo.
Oh boy.
And it contains equal parts of Nicole's tears, Holly's self-doubt, watermelon juice, Tanqueray simple syrup, prickly pear, vermouth, bacon bits, muddled basil, and ayahuasca.
What's ayahuasca?
It's a drug.
Oh. Can I contact Bar Rescue and have them?
You had to travel to South America to take ayahuasca with a shaman.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Welcome aboard, Julia.
What?
I said welcome aboard, Julia.
Oh, yes. Welcome, Julia. And also, they are our very own Tracy and Hepburn, Phil and Angie Barker. By the way, this week on Day Drinking, we had a Spencer Tracy, Katharine Hepburn film.
It was fabulous.
And what would we do without our very own Vince Paul Gosselaar? I heard you weren't informed about the new Saved by the Bell reboot. And lastly, he's the Empress of Arizona, the Imperial Consort of Phoenix, the Noble Lady of Sedona, concubine Wiley Paco Bendito Smith.
A concubine. Oh, Wiley. Well, thank you, executive producers. We love each and every one of you. And, of course, our associate producers are John Zimmer, Anthony Machado, Crystal List, Jonathan Crouch, Lori Browse, and my favorite kid killer, and Sebastian Half. So thank you to all you people. And finally, we get to our Big Brother mailbag, our second and last Big Brother mailbag of the year. We have two questions. They're both pretty apt for this time of year. John Zimmer writes, as the season winds down and we start to think ahead for next year, what changes would you like to see the producers do to change up the game? One idea would be to eliminate the day 1 or 2 eviction, that surprise first eviction, first show of the season, and the 2-week-long HOH, replacing it with a multi-stage competition where the losers are the nominations. I'll go first on that. That's interesting. Okay. I think the feed should be on right away, but I don't think the first week stuff is the problem with the show these days. The problem begins with production. This is a short version of things I've been thinking about a lot the last few weeks. We need a complete overhaul of the production team. Let's edit the show as an adult program, not a Nickelodeon show. Stop with the sound effects. Stop feeding them lines in the diary room. Stop having us listen to Nicole. So I'm pointing the ball this time at Jack. I'm pointing the ball this. We don't need that. We don't need that. And then I think when we get to the final weeks of the season, where there's 5, 6 people and everything slows down and everybody starts whining about the fees, let's evict 2 people a week.
Okay.
Why there's so much downtime. I let's speed things up a little bit. So
sure.
Colette?
So I agree with John Zimmer when I don't like early evictions. I think they're shitty to the players who had to go through the trouble of getting cast. I don't know if I agree about the multi-stage thing where losers are the nominee. I don't think I agree with that, but I don't like the early evictions. I didn't like the camp whatever they had this year. I would like to see new competitions so the house guests don't know what to expect.
Yes.
You're like, oh, well, this week they usually do the wall, or this week they usually do the thing where you have to slide across and fill the vat of whatever, or this week's usually OTEV, or this week's usually double eviction. Like, no, let's do just or where they do the hide and seek in the house and they trash the house. Enough. Come on, guys, you're paid to do a job. Think of a new freaking comp. Survivor manages to do it every season. Why can't you? Casting. I would like to see better casting. Stop casting people who are there to represent something. Whatever that something is, stop doing it. Stop pandering to the woke PC masses and start casting. That was so perfect. Start casting hardcore strategists. Okay, I don't know if any of you saw this, but the Paradise Hotel reboot that Fox kind of ruined, they actually managed to cast some incredibly savvy and smart hardcore strategists on a dating show, on a show for love. There were a few of them who were outright vicious in their manipulations. Like, I hated them on the dating show because I was like, you're not there for love. But I also went to Twitter and I was like, this guy would be amazing in Big Brother. Like, how did this guy slip out of Robin Cass's hands? Well, I mean, it's easy because she just goes to her local bar. But, so yeah, no, get rid of Robin Cass. I'm sorry. Let's replace her once and for all. I don't understand how Fox can find these amazing strategists, probably in a couple weeks' time for this little teeny tiny reboot of Paradise Hotel, and CBS, big, huge, what is it, the Tiffany Network they call it? Big, huge network. They plan almost a year for this show and do casting, and literally you can't come up with some people that, I mean, this cast was a bunch of duds. You only had a few people in there that were super hardcore about strategy. So yeah, Robin Cass needs to go.
And she's blocked us all, so she'll never see our opinions of her.
I'm not blocked.
I am.
Oh, I am. I am. All right, Mike,
She
your
doesn't
thoughts.
follow me. She doesn't see me. I misread the question. I read it as our what do we do to change the show overall, not just as far as the change up the game. So I'm throwing out my initial comment, and I will just comment on something you said. I liked keeping the house guests around that got evicted. I actually enjoyed that, except for it made it kind of hard because keeping 16 people in the house for an extra 3 weeks was a bit of a pain in the butt. So I don't know. I agree with pretty much a lot of your points as far as the casting needs to the same stereotypes every year now we get, and the people, it's like just they say some oh, these people. Robin is very pointed about pointing out people that have gone to castings and have gotten on the show, but there's still, for every one of those, there's a couple, 3 or 4 that are just totally worthless that were cast by contacting the managers and saying, hey, you got anybody? So I would like to see some new comps, and I would say that I don't know if Survivor comes up with new comps every season. They kind of just change the order of the obstacles sometimes, but they do change it up. And I think they've gotten way too fixated on calling any comp a classic. It's like, then get rid of it.
Yeah.
I don't see. I do not need to see hide and go seek. I don't need to see OTEV, but I know some of you do like OTEV. I just think they could bring back some other stuff or tweak it. But I'm we'll talk about this more next week, I'm sure too.
Okay. And then we have our swingers, Phil and Angie Barker. Do you think we will see another All-Stars? And if so, who would you like to see and who not? Well, next season's going up against the Olympics. And also, even though it's season 22, it's the 20th anniversary of when the show debuted. There's no doubt in my mind it's going to be All-Stars. As far as who, I don't give a shit. I don't like any returning players of any kind. So, but I would rather see all returnees than mixing it up. Oh, I'm sorry, Colette, go.
I don't know. No, are you done?
Yes, I'm done.
Okay. Knowing CBS, I didn't even make the connection about the Olympics. Knowing CBS, yes, 100%, they're going to do an all-star show at some point. Who would I like to see? Players like Tyler, Cody, Jackson. Threw that in there. Who would I not want to see? Probably everyone else from this season. Rock Scab, that irrelevant couple from last season. Just put in a bunch of my favorites, because my favorites are all the hardcore strategy people. And if you put in all my favorites, you're going to get one hell of a game.
True.
There you go.
Mike?
Well, you both know that I said I spent a lot of time on this one for some reason. I'm going to blow through this really quick, so we don't have to dwell on it too long. But I actually went through and I thought, all right, Big Brother 7 was the last. I think all next season will be All-Stars. Well, I think they've cast enough new people the last couple of years that they managed to get a pool of people to draw from that may still be unemployed, so they'd be willing to come back for 3 months. That's Big Brother's biggest problem, is that most people, once they've done it once, they know they can't come back and take another 3 months off if they have any kind of real employment. So you have to pick and choose who you can get. But that being said, I went through my list, and some of these names would be like, what? But I just went through and said, I'm picking out people that I would like to see back on just for the hell of it. And I went back through Big Brother 15. It won't take me long, trust me. Big Brother 21, Ovi and David. Big Brother 20, Winston, Caitlin, and Rachel. People that I thought maybe had more potential and didn't.
Oh, you can do the impression?
Yes.
Well, for Ovi, hell yes. Definitely for that. Big Brother 19, Cody or Jessica. I'm figuring only one of the two of them will be able to come on, but I wouldn't mind seeing one of those two come back on. Ramses, why? Because you know what? He had potential and he didn't get to do much. So Raven, I just for the crazy.
Oh my God.
Fuck you, Mike. Oh my God. You know
Really?
what? For the rest of the show, nobody
Really?
can take anything Mike says seriously.
Big Brother 18, Josea, and Michelle, because Michelle was fun. Big Brother 17, Becky, John, Vanessa, and Jason. Big Brother 16, Joe Costa, Caleb, and Victoria. I know, I'm having fun with it.
Mike, were you stoned when you did this?
And Big Brother 15, Andy, Helen, and Amanda. That's what I would say. Now, who do I think they will bring back if they were to bring back from these past seasons? Ovi, David, Nicole, Tommy from this season. Tyler, Sam, JC, and Swaggy or Bailey from last season.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm just saying who I think they'll bring back. Cody or Jessica, I think they would bring back from 19. Paul probably would come back. And Josh would probably come back. From 18, Victor and Glenn, maybe. From 17, I'm thinking John. He might if his dentist practice isn't doing well. Maybe Julie and Liz playing as a couple, as one person. Davon might come back. James would probably come back as well. And then Big Brother 16, he shall not be named. Donnie, Zach, and Cody. And then
hey,
Big Brother
Mike,
15,
Mike,
yes.
Mike,
What?
if
Yeah.
1/3 of those people come back, we will not be covering the season.
I'm just saying. I'm saying who I think they'll bring back. And then for Big Brother 15, they won't bring one person back from Big Brother 15.
Yeah, it's the forgotten
That ain't
season.
happening. That season is not coming out back. So, anyways, there you go.
Wow. This is not how I expected that to go.
Hey, I had fun with it.
Mike is after Twitter followers.
Yeah.
Decided. That was some pandering shit right there. Oh,
Wait, what was
my
pandering? Where was the pandering? What names were pandering?
Oh, no, I'm not answering that. Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
All right.
Nope.
I could have come up with other names. If I wanted to pander, I could have come up with other names. All right.
Wow. I'm kind of stunned. I'm kind of
I know. See,
Which are you stunned with? Are you stunned with the? Are you stunned with the list I wouldn't mind seeing, or the list I think that they'll bring back?
Well, the list you said of who they would bring back, that's sadly probably true.
I mean that's.
But I was stunned with many of your picks in the who.
Those were fun. I was no. That was not necessarily. I was looking through for players that didn't get a lot and maybe had a little bit of potential, a little bit interesting, and
Raven?
Okay, huh?
Raven.
Oh, Raven was total crazy. I just threw her in there because I thought, I forgotten. You just need to hit me upside the head. I was torn.
You had me
Until I
in
said
your
Raven.
arms with Cody and Jessica, and then you lost me after that.
Yeah. Well.
Lost.
All right. All right. Well, I added a couple minutes to our show that's going to be really short tonight.
I knew you were doing. I told you were doing that.
Oh my God, that's funny. All right, well, we don't have a lot to cover for this week, but we have some things worth covering. First off, Twitter people need to relax. Twitter people need to relax. Here is the latest outrage that everyone has been going on and on about all week. And listen to this clip closely, because there are four people in this conversation here.
I had what was it? What was the first question? Who has not received a punishment?
Yes.
Who did not receive a punishment? I knocked down fucking 5 Facebook.
Yeah.
He kept saying, did not receive a punishment. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And he did not receive. I'm like,
Yep.
Oh, shit.
I knocked down myself, Nick, and who was next to me? Somebody.
Yeah, I was going left to right. I was mowing through
I
it.
was like, oh, no. I was so
Well, you know
mad.
what I did?
didn't
I was
see
shooting
three.
at Nick because I was confused on it. And all of a sudden, I had one that went too low and it knocked you down. I was like, damn. I went back and reset it. And I actually
then you
were
realized you
correct.
should have.
And then that's why as I was coming back, I said, wait a minute. I read it wrong.
Oh my God, he's cheating. Production is helping him. If Cliff had any inkling that there was any true cheating, that man would be in the diary room in a heartbeat, having them contact lawyers. Yeah. The fact that they had no reaction to Jackson, we knew from watching OTT that production is talking to them through the comp.
Yeah. And why do you think that whenever we watch the feeds, why do you think they go down all the time? Even if somebody hasn't fallen, the feeds will go down and we're all like if we're watching an HOH comp live, production is talking to them all the time. And Jackson actually revealed, what was it, last week, that they actually stopped spinning or shooting stuff at them during commercials on the network show because they want to save it for the air so we can see if someone falls. They want people to stay on during the commercials. And then they come back, and then if someone's going to fall, they didn't want that live.
And Cliff still didn't do it live.
To everybody, and it was explained. It wasn't, here, Jackson, here's how to win. It was telling him the rules, which is how they should tell everybody. Everybody should know the rules.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm sure they all did.
Yeah, they all. If any of they were all listening, they're all nodding. The reason that Jackson is the only one that talked about them saying that.
Yeah.
But if anybody else is, well, they didn't talk to me. No, they all had that. They all had a shared experience.
Yeah, and
they all went
if
through
I
that.
thought another player had another advantage, I'd be like, wait, they didn't tell me that.
Right. If they are all nodding their heads in agreement because they all did the same thing. They all did it individually, but they all did it together. They all knew what the other person went through because they all experienced it. They don't need to talk about the fact that they all got talked to because they all know they did. It's kind of what we're the ones that didn't see the competition, but everyone in that room already experienced it, and we only see the edited version, and you don't see the producers talk to them in the edited version. So that's, but people are just looking for reasons to freak out, and this was one of.
Well, they're just looking for reasons to hate Jackson again.
Yeah. So most of the week, okay. Now, in the 80s, my parents had one of those giant satellite dishes that looks like you could contact Mars. Remember those kind?
Yeah.
And there was a religious channel on there where I swear there was this preacher man who every waking moment of the day, he was like sitting in his little throne, just babbling. He just talked. He just talked 24 hours a day.
Okay.
No point to 90% of it. Well, that was Cliff this week. Cliff.
I was wondering where you were going with that.
Cliff had, if you turned on the feeds anytime between Sunday, well, the entire season, but especially Sunday through Thursday, anytime you turn on the feeds, Cliff, he's getting what stupid owl in his hand once he found it, is talking to the cameras. And then the others were doing it too. Nicole was doing it. Holly started doing it. But Cliff, 24/7. There's only one thing kind of worth playing because Cliff kind of compared Jackson to something we've talked about on this show.
Oh, yes.
If you want to break the deal, as bad as that is, you don't keep saying that it's fine, that you're good with the deal, everything's all right. And then after the veto has been won and you have guaranteed safety, then you suddenly change your mind. It's too late then. It's like buying a car. You agree to purchase a car, you shake hands, you sign the contract. If you then change your mind and say, no, I changed my mind, it's not great, and maybe there's some penalties to pay and all that, but you split right there. You at least have broken the contract before you received any benefit from it. In this case, it's like you purchase a car, you drive it around, you go to that fancy party that you planned to show off to all your friends, and then you take it back the next morning and say, okay, I've changed my mind now.
We get the point,
the way
Cliff.
it worked. Mickey waited until he knew that he had safety and was in final three. Then, and only then, did he suddenly decide that, well, I don't want to take Cliff. I don't like this deal. Well, it's too freaking late.
Oh, you shut up, old man.
Oh, God, no, you dumbass. He actually decided like a week before when you said the final two was non-reciprocal. And yeah, of course he waited until he was safe to tell you because he would be a dummy not to. Anybody would be a dummy not to. If you were in his position, you would be a dummy not. You were the dummy. Here's where you're a dummy. It's because you told him the information that you're criticizing him for telling you too early. You told him too early.
Yeah.
You should have told him that after you had won HOH and you were in power. You should have said, oh, you know what, by the way, that wasn't reciprocal. That's how you do it, Cliff. Because you did. So the thing that you're sitting here bitching about with the cards, which I don't get at all, this whole thing is actually the entire mistake you made. You idiot.
Yeah. And here's the deal. Their big overall agreement was that they go to Final Four and then fight it out. That's the big overall agreement. Cliff is the one then that's making little side deals with everybody and people that aren't even in the. He's making deals with the fucking owl. I mean, you know,
Which
and
means to have final two.
so you know, the Final Four made it, and it was like, then we'll bash it out. Well, Nicole was gifted HOH, so she's in. And so then, Cliff, it's your own fault. You lost POV.
Yep.
You lost
Should've won
POV. You lost POV. So I don't feel sorry for him at all. we have more on that in a couple minutes. Before we get to that, though, I do have this little clip here that I want to play because, it makes me laugh.
Cody Calafiore is my BB crush. My number 2 BB crush.
Paul. Mine's Veronica, 18.
You didn't even...
Victoria. Is it Victoria?
Oh, Victoria.
Victoria.
I was like, Veronica.
You didn't even ask me who my number 1 BB crush.
Who's your number 1?
Is Jackson a Big Brother Gossip listener?
So I saw some other Big Brother sites post. They're like, he didn't even know her name. And I was like, no, he's a Big Brother Gossip listener. I said it as a joke. But I also would read the comments. And people were like, oh, he listens to Big Brother Gossip. Oh, my God, you guys, he listens to it. Like, everyone else got that joke.
Yeah.
It's the best running joke of the last few years.
Yes,
it's so funny.
And
The other thing,
that's all you two.
I'm hoping she's back for All Stars if you didn't.
Oh, shut up, Mike. Shut up, Mike.
the other thing about that clip, Holly is so needy.
I know.
Holly's so needy. She goes, well, my Big Brother crush was it Cody Cal? Wait, no, that was my second Big Brother crush. And then everybody jumps. That's when the Victoria thing goes. You didn't even ask me what my number 1 Big Brother crush. It's like,
what was she gonna say? Him?
Yeah, stop it.
It's you, Jackson.
Maybe that is what she was going to do.
Yeah. I didn't bother listening any longer to find out what it was.
No, that was all you needed. That was good.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, let's talk about the big eviction show on Thursday. Of course, it was split into 2 segments, one at the very beginning, one at the end. Cliff is all pissed off. Cliff has got this big plan of how he's going to save himself. And it actually happened on Wednesday night. It was a 30-minute conversation. Thankfully, they edited it down to about 3 minutes where Cliff said he was going to get the jury to not vote for him. Okay, 2 things about that. One is, who in the jury is going to listen to fucking Cliff?
Wait, so someone tweeted me, okay.
They don't go to jury. He doesn't go to jury.
That Andy reminded them that the spot that Cliff is in doesnst even go to jury.
Nope.
Yeah.
They're all, they're all shipped to hotel rooms for this last.
Yeah, Cliff will walk out to the jury roundtable. He will spend time with them. But his whole point was that he was just trying to, he said later, I'm just trying to mess with Jackson's head.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't think he believed in a heartbeat it would actually work, but I did laugh. He goes, I think it would be better to send Holly there to like root for you,
Yeah. And Jackson doesn't know that anyways. It really doesn't matter that Cliff was lying. Jackson doesn't know how it works because he doesn't know that well.
But it didn't work at all. In fact, Jackson was so pissed off he was steaming.
It made him mad. Yeah, you need to know. I mean, look, and I don't. And look, I hate when people give up and roll over and die. So I don't begrudge Cliff trying whatever he can. But he should also know threats don't work with Jackson. That's not how you get Jackson. It's not with threats. He needed to use another tactic, and that was a threat. But, I mean, look, I'll give him credit for trying. And for trying something, but it literally had the absolute opposite effect. It made him want him out even more because threatening him. And this is what, so one of my sisters, sister number 2, when she saw this on the show, she texted me, Cliff is a total terrorist on the show. And Jackson should know that you don't negotiate with terrorists. And so, yeah, I think this is what she was talking about.
By the way, what else did your sister tweet about Cliff?
What?
Never mind. It's a joke.
Okay.
And then we had the long-awaited Jury House segment. I'm sure some of this was going to be aired the week before, but the chaos made it so they scrapped it. Thankfully, though, I did like the fact we had a long Jury House segment.
Yeah.
I liked it, though, except for these 45 seconds.
Relationships definitely change between the Big Brother house and the jury house. Like Nick, for example, I hated him after I got evicted. But once you're like stuck in the jury house, like you get your Big Brother goggles on, everyone starts looking really good. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. No.
Are you okay with anyone in the jury house?
I'm not answering that.
Like Nick and Kat are a thing in this house. I'm speechless. Kat freaking hated Nick, and now they're like totally hooking up. And like, I'm sorry, I'm pretty sure that Nick had a girlfriend when he left. So what about Bella?
The camera's right on us right now.
All right.
Are you still thinking about Bella?
That was well done by production.
Yeah.
Oh,
I did
awesome.
not see that coming.
3-pump Nick? Why would anyone hook up with 3-pump Nick?
I'm like, I could see, like, okay, we know Bella got mad when he would like lay in bed with Sis, but we all kind of knew he was lusting after her, but still, they never hooked up. He never they never kissed. They never did anything, even though he was totally hot for her. Because he also flirted with Tom, where it's like you could almost give that a pass, and you could almost be like, look, well, Bella, actually he never did do anything with Sis. But then he gets to the streets. They're totally boning. They are totally boning. He's boning Kat. And like, what was the last thing he said when he left the Big Brother house? It's like, I love you, Bella. I can't wait to see you, Bella. I love her. I love her. Oh my God.
Hilarious. Just but depressing. Depressing.
So, a lot less of Kat.
Well, it didn't start well either with her first choice either, in my opinion, but that's a whole other thing. What is this the most sexually active Big Brother season?
I think only 9 is the comparison.
But 9 wasn't. 9 was 3 couples, and they weren't crossing the street.
But were they all boning though? Because some of them weren't boning. Like some were just like.
No, there were 3 couples that were boning. If you think
they
about
were
it.
okay.
Yeah, because it was Wait,
is that orgy season?
Yes.
Yeah, but the boyfriend and the girlfriend came in, and then Matt and Natalie, and then James and Chelsea. Those were your 3 couples. But that was it. I don't think Adam and any the other ones. I don't think anybody else hooked up.
Yeah.
So when you add in the double dipping that went on between Kat and Jackson, you get 7. You get 7 people doing this season. So
it's funny to me how offended people are by that. I don't give a shit.
And that's so. And like, why blame the guy? I would blame Holly for being like, okay, I'm fine being a slut. Like a guy's doing what a guy's gonna do. You know what I mean? Or like Kat.
Well, Holly and Kat both.
Kat's doing what Kat's gonna do.
God
she
bless
was
her.
fine boning a guy within knowing him a couple days, and now she's fine boning a guy that she hated. That went in the house after a couple days. You know what I mean? Like, it's even Steven. Any one of their partners could have very easily said, you know what? No, thank you. I respect myself a little bit more than this. But no, none of them did. None of them did.
Yeah, crazy. I did enjoy. I'm not a Nick fan by any means. I'm kind of jealous of him now, but I'm not a Nick fan by any means. I did
Hey,
like.
Scott.
Yeah.
You have a shot, dude.
Shut up.
That's what I looked at it. But you got a shot.
But anyway, I did like once Christy entered, Nick and Christy arguing back and forth. He wasn't taking any of Christy's bullshit. And I like that because I don't think that happens very often.
Yeah, I did appreciate Nick for that.
And of course, Tommy pulled Christy aside to tell her that he told the 4 remaining people the big secret. So they outed it to everybody. It wasn't that big of a deal in the jury house, but it is worth noting. But that led to Jess getting finally a moment of self-realization.
I know nothing. I know nothing.
Really?
All right. So then finally the big moment happens and the summer clip is over. Jackson babbles a speech about how he had to adapt into a new game before putting Cliff on the block in his spot. Holly then gave this super long speech. I just went blah, 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 blah. I'm proud and thrilled and blah, blah, blah. And she had to throw in her dig about, I had to throw the comp that I've waited all summer to play. She repeated that quite a bit over the week.
No, actually, that was good for her to put in the speech because it does highlight her loyalty and it highlights her commitment to keeping her word. So it's a positive for her in that sense.
Okay. And then Cliff's speech is how he respects Jackson as a game player and a man. And whatever you do, I get it. And of course, Cliff was then evicted after Jackson gave a speech about loyalty. Another speech, yes. Yes.
You're just supposed to vote. You don't give a speech when you go cast your vote.
And then I will give this credit to Jackson. As Cliff is leaving, Jackson says to him, remember, it's just a game. It's just a game. Vote accordingly.
Well, Holly was campaigning. They were both kind of campaigning as he walked out the door. They were looking like, hey, see you soon.
Yeah.
Good game.
Love you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But then the questioning with, I got to say, I know Colette agrees. I'm going to let her take over on this because she's the one that wrote the notes here. Julie actually threw out the questions that Cliff needed to hear, right?
Yeah, so this stunned me because we know CBS has been hardcore. Cliff is the great. Look at this funny old weird and stupid man, Cliff. Let's laugh at him. Let's go visit his family. Cliff. Like that's what the entire summer has been. So I thought they were. And also we've all seen Julie be like, "Well, do you respect Jackson?"
Yeah.
After he's made the most amazing gameplay ever. But do you actually respect it? We've seen her just try to. They're in an alliance with Jackson and Holly, but now they're thinking of evicting Holly and keeping Tommy instead. And so they sort of mentioned that. And then Julie's like, well, look, would you trust Jackson and Holly if they had pulled what you and Nicole did that week with Tommy and decide, instead to evict one of you and to keep Tommy, in your place? And he sort of and I watched it twice. He sort of inhaled, stopped, well, okay, I see what you're saying. But then he kept going back to this story about a handshake. But I trusted him in a gentleman's handshake. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you also had a handshake on a Final 2 deal, but somehow that escaped you. But yeah, that caught me off guard because I did not expect Julie to sort of call him out for his stupidity because CBS has been so pro Cliff, right, and everything. Did you want to say anything about that before I move on to the next one?
No, go for it.
Okay. And also, she did bring up, and I was so glad that she did it. She said that, or no, I think it was Cliff. No, sorry. Julie did bring up, you told Jackson that the Final 2 wasn't reciprocal.
The clip we
Why
played.
did you say that? What?
The clip we played last week.
Oh yeah, 20 times last week. And he's like, oh, well, I actually don't think that was a big part of Jackson doing what he did. And I'm like, no, actually, that was the impetus. That was the start of it all. What the fuck? What the fuck? I'm not his Final 2, but he's mine? And that started everything. So that made me laugh. That Cliff sort of brushed it off as not important. I found that interesting as well.
Yeah, I did too. I like that she asked him that question. That was the most important question I asked.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. One little clip to play. I don't watch these other interviews that Julie does, and I guess in this case she didn't do one with Cliff. Is that right? She didn't do an after show interview with Cliff.
I only saw what you saw.
Okay.
I saw this. I saw the goodbye messages.
But the goodbye messages were posted, and this is Jackson's to Cliff.
Cliff, for you to threaten me with coercing a jury against me, with losing yours and Nicole's vote, with losing $500,000 essentially, and taking money away from myself and my family is not right. Everything that happened with Tommy, I did it to keep Holly here, just like you would have done it for Nicole.
True.
And it breaks my heart that you have taken this game this way. And all I can do is hope and pray that you will stay true to yourself and not be a bitter juror. I'll see you outside here.
First time hearing that's really interesting.
That's what
It's
Jackson said he was gonna. Jackson said he was gonna do that in the eviction speech or in the POV speech, and I got through that and thought, oh, he didn't do all this, and he saved it for the diary. That's why he didn't do it live on TV, because he'd saved it for the diary room goodbye.
Oh, okay.
It is an interesting type because, and I know why he did it, because him and Cliff were all like, my word is my bond. If I give my word, and they're about honor and family, and they're both good old Southern boys. And so I get why he did it. And I could see how, and I'm glad he said bitter juror, because that would get to somebody that is a fan of the game. When people vote in the end and they do stupid votes, oh God, who's Scotty? Scotty's vote last season. I will never respect that twat for that vote last season. You know what I mean? Like, I will hold that against him for the rest of his life. And Cliff knows that. As a big fan of the show, he knows that being a bitter juror is frowned upon. You know? So I get Jackson's tactic in that way.
Okay.
Right.
Sure. Yeah, I don't really have a problem with it. I don't think he was as harsh as I had been reading that he was.
No.
No.
I mean, that's the first time I've heard it. And
He's playing the game too. I don't
Yeah.
think it really breaks his heart. I don't think Jackson's heart's really broken. I think he was kind of being a little bit, but whatever.
Sure.
I'm just being silly.
So yes, that's how the show ended. Then, well, I mean, obviously that was after the show. The feeds were down for quite some time. They finally came back at 9:40 because they had played the first HOH comp.
So as a side note, apparently, for what it's worth, this is me. The show was actually not live on Thursday.
Right.
But we're watching it. It was done a couple hours earlier so that they could squeeze in this part one.
Yes, they brought in a new audience apparently for this comp.
They brought in an audience for the comp?
That's what people were reporting.
Like they got to watch the comp?
I don't know. It could,
okay.
It could just be bullshit too. I mean, but that's what people were saying that on Twitter. Okay, we know how reliable Twitter
I'm
is.
just saying that they did the show 2 hours earlier than normal or some number so that it would be done in time for Big Brother After Dark. Because in the past, Big Brother After Dark's been nothing but fish for 2 hours because they're doing part one. So this time they actually were able to show them after the competition.
So the feeds came back at 9:40 with Jackson in the shower. Holly comes in. We'll talk about the details of the comp. I'm going to play the clip first.
We balanced each other out a lot. My stride helped me, but my weight hurt me. Going up those fucking stairs at 225 pounds and swinging on the rope.
Yeah. Going up was hard for me because it was so. Also, both of your rocks were bigger than mine. They were squishy, so it didn't really matter. But like the one that you stepped up to get up, mine was really small. Did you notice that? They were squishy, so it
went across.
No. Did you even use that? Like by the treasure chest, you know how there was a rock? You could use it to step.
What?
Mine was really little.
There was a step?
It was a squishy rock. You didn't see the squishy boulder that I was talking about?
I was fucking jumping up the entire time.
Oh.
Up to my chest, hurtling. It was fucking exhausting. There was a step.
Yeah, it was literally right there. It was a little to the right.
Are you fucking kidding?
If this is the step to get back up to the platform, here's your treasure chest. There's a boulder.
I didn't know. I was jumping up the entire time.
I used it as a step.
I didn't know it was there.
Yeah. It was
I feel like an idiot.
It was squishy, so it wasn't a huge step, but there was a step there.
I literally was jumping and trying to clear the thing every fucking time. It was exhausting. That was one of the hardest parts, was going up those two ledges.
I know. Granted, it probably gave me this much of a leg up because it was squishy. So it was mine was this tall and squished down to that. So,
I didn't know there was a rock there. That was.
But I was literally going I still had to fully and climb
that was a hard 25 trips.
My arms are gonna be sore.
25 trips is a lot, Halls.
Yeah, I know. 50 total on that. I know.
50 links running the backyard is hard.
Yeah, and that was a full body workout.
So it sounded like some of the taking with what they were saying in that clip and other clips later on. It was Nate. We didn't get the full name. It was Raiders of the something.
They couldn't remember.
Yeah, they could remember. And so it was like Indiana Jones, Laura Croft.
We saw a couple pictures of it.
Yeah, a lot of climbing, a lot of swinging.
Swinging, jumping across a pit.
Yep. Holly mentioned slime at some point.
There was a puzzle a full-size puzzle they had to put together.
Yes.
Yeah, Jackson really liked it because he said it sort of combined physical, mental, and strategy.
Yeah.
And he had to use everything, and they all kind of went on and on about how what a great comp it was.
Yeah. Jackson apparently got 25 quote coins. Holly, I thought I heard her. It might have been in that clip even. I got a refill during it. She got 22. Nicole did not do well at all. She only got 8.
Yeah.
Well, no one threw it to her.
Then it got a little. I mean, because they're in the shower. Jackson doesn't have a mic on. I'm surprised that clip is as clear as it was. It got really whispery as Holly started whining, that she needs to prove that she belongs here, which I can't argue with that. And they had talked earlier in the week about Jackson possibly throwing part 1 to her.
Right.
And in this clip, which is kind of hard to hear, I'll admit, he says that maybe he should have let her win.
That was a fun comp. Like, that's my kind of shit. Like, I can do that all day.
I feel like a piece of shit.
No. Don't let me win things. Don't let me win things. We're competitors.
I know, but like, also strategies. Fucking strategy.
I know. But we don't know what's coming. So we have to, some things
happens for a reason.
I know. Some things have to be left to fate because we have no idea.
And that's what she said.
So, yeah, she's
I mean,
like...
yeah, and it's risky. Like, how would he have known that she would have done so well?
Well, they did it all together.
Done so shitty.
They did.
No, but I mean after the fact. How would he have known that Nicole would have only gotten eight coins?
They were playing side by side. No, they were all playing at the same time.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
They could see that Nicole was completely sucking.
But but also, don't they know that the second one is like mental? Don't they know part 2 is mental? And Jackson has always been sort of scared about that. He's always been scared
Jackson
about
wanted
memory.
to do the mental. No, Jackson wanted to do the mental.
Well, he said before he evicted Jessica because of memory. He lost.
He goes back and forth on that.
But he thinks that he's better at mental than Holly. That's the point.
Oh, I see. Well, okay, and that way I get it. But I think in general, he knows that other people will beat him at mental. Like, I actually think.
I think you get a physical comp and he's going to go all out.
If number 2 is going to be memory or days or whatever, and so Jackson was way better off winning this one. But it's almost like, what were we talking about last week with like with Holly throwing that HOH, like that was super risky. But then again, it also let them both be have that 66% chance of sort of like being able to decide who would go home. You know what I mean? Like, or
the two of them against Cliff.
Like, because once you won last week's HOH, you were null and void. You're done. Your power's over. And then you get that sort of extra shot of power. Had Holly thrown that thing last week, it's tricky. And Jackson is the type of person that would be willing to take a risk like that. But thinking about what this next comp might be, I actually think Jackson, just win, just get there and get it done with, and let Holly try to fight it out.
Sure. Apparently Nicole hurt her knee while in this comp, and while those two were talking in the shower about the comp, Nicole went and got ice for her knee. She went to the bed and was muttering for a good hour about how embarrassed she was, and
she was disgusted with herself.
Blah blah blah. And
and she said that she hopes that people won't think that she's someone who doesn't deserve to be in the final 3. Sorry, Nicole, I'm indeed one of those people. Look, this chick is super lucky that she has all of woke PC millennial Twitter behind her. She's super, super lucky, because otherwise everybody else would be agreeing with her.
Yeah.
I'm okay with her being there. I don't. What, as opposed to Cliff? I mean, no. I'm okay with her.
Okay.
I think Cliff played all season long. I don't think Nicole did.
Oh, I think Nicole played all season long too. I thought we had agreed last week that everybody that was left had been playing all season. Not necessarily the best, but once Jessica was out, we were down to people that had all been playing the game all season.
She was trying super, super hard when she was crying. Almost first 4 weeks. Oh my God, such hard.
You mean when the entire house was ganging up against her and making fun of her?
Love Tears' gameplay. So good.
It worked for Rachel.
So, and you think I like Rachel?
I know.
So good. So good. Love those tears. Keep them coming.
So as she's laying in bed complaining about how embarrassed she was, Jackson and Holly first come in to try to cheer up. Holly got called to the DR. Well, she got called. She was wearing a towel. She didn't have a mic on, so she got called out to go put a mic on. So Jackson here tries to cheer her up.
I'm disgusted with myself.
What? Oh, emotionally or physically?
Both.
How's your knee? That comp was ridiculously hard.
It's okay. I shall turn this way.
Nicole.
No, it's fine.
Nicole, you don't have to. Hey, look,
No.
turn back around. Let me talk to you.
Nope, I'm okay. I'm fine.
Do you want to go play cards?
No, thank you. I just need a minute.
You know I'm not going to leave you alone all night.
It's okay.
No. Can you just turn back around?
No, thank you.
Talk with me.
No, thank
Nicole.
you. No, thank you.
Don't make me come over there and nose up next to you.
I just need some time to myself. Oh.
Yeah.
Watch my leg. No. I know.
Very proud of you. Hush.
That was laughable.
You never quit.
I know, but still.
It doesn't matter.
He's hugging her at that point, telling her, you know, I do think that their friendship is real, and I know I see people saying he's just.
Yeah, no, I actually think he gets a kick out of being like, oh, you're like my little sister. I mean, and this didn't, and this was way before you had to worry about votes or the finals or whatever. This was like even before they even got into an alliance together. They would talk about her and be like, oh, you know, wouldn't it be fun if she won, or when, you know, if she should get the HOH. I mean, the guy even gave her HOH room to her.
And the pie thing, they had fun with the pie.
Yeah, and they would like run around the house and I actually think does Jackson have sisters?
I don't think so.
I think maybe his extent of experience with women is like sorority girls.
Mama?
And so I think he was kind of delighted. Yeah, Mama. And Taskmaster Mama. Yeah, Joan Crawford there. Yeah. And so I think he's sort of like delighted into having this little nerdy sister that he could joke around with and stuff. And I do genuinely think it's real.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
I don't think it's real on her end at all. I really don't. I think it's real on his.
Probably. She's putting up with him.
Yeah. I think she has a thing about men that I wrote something that I kind of wanted to explore later. I think somebody, and this is just a theory I'm sort of floating. I think somebody in Nicole's life hurt her. Somebody that she was involved with romantically. I think maybe she hurt her at one point or betrayed her. I think maybe because she doesn't trust people easily at all, right?
Neither does Jackson.
No, she doesn't trust. No,
I'm saying neither does Jackson. I'm saying
she's super suspicious of everybody.
Yeah.
And when I see young girls be like that, I'm like, oh, someone hurt her. Someone did a number on this chick. And I almost feel like, yeah, but then I also think it's maybe why she let Nick pull his number on her and manipulate her so easily. I think there's something about her and men that I'm really curious about that I kind of, if I was a psychologist, I would be willing to explore. But
maybe Nick will explore it. He's a psychologist.
Yeah. Oh, please. Come
He's
on.
exploring cat at the moment, Scott.
Oh, shut up. Don't remind me.
Really?
Mike, you got this next clip, so you can introduce it.
Yeah, so this is going back. So this is actually, this is before this last. Okay, so Jackson, right before this clip, Jackson was talking to Holly. Still, they were back in the bathroom, and this clip caused some controversy because some people, let's listen to it and then we'll talk. But some people heard this clip and thought it implied that production is helping Jackson.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Here we
go.
go.
Listen to this clip and then we'll discuss.
Listen, I really don't. I have such ADD.
You have to listen to this next conversation.
I know.
No,
I try.
I know, baby. I'm just saying.
I try. I have such ADD.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
How can anybody be angry at that? He's saying pay attention to the instructions.
Because they're getting help. Production is telling them you've got to listen to them when they tell you how to play this. They thought they were getting special instructions or something. I don't know. People are looking for any straw they can grasp to see a reason how Jackson is being helped in this game. And by the way, I don't think production really wants Jackson to win. So that's
No, are you kidding? CBS would have loved a Cliff and Nicole final too.
That's the whole.
So ludicrous.
That is what is so funny about all of it.
They would have loved Jackson to follow Jack out the door.
Oh, 100%. Oh my God. If CBS had their way, the final would have been Jessica, Nicole, Cliff.
Maybe
Who
Holly.
else was a total loser who did nothing?
Holly could have been in.
They probably would have been happy with. They would.
Ovi, like that would have been their ideal final.
Wait
Yeah,
a minute.
that
Wait,
boring feeds
wait,
for 85 weeks.
I am not a total loser. I don't know where this is coming from. Calling
Well,
me
they
a total.
brought you back to make some cookies, didn't
No.
they, Ovi?
Well, and then
Did they bring you back, buddy?
They flew me across the country to put me in the kitchen for 10 minutes to make cookies. You're damn right I'm taking the money.
That's
yes.
right. That's right.
I got a really hot girlfriend. Did you forget that part? Yes, I got my Ovi impression in another show.
Yeah, maybe. Can you get it in the finale next Friday? That's the big.
Oh, I bet you bet your ass I'm gonna be back here. You bet, yeah.
Well, I mean, Nicole's no dummy. She knows where she stands in this final three. She knows that she has to win the second comp, which is happening as we speak while we're recording. And so this is her talking to Holly about that fact.
And I guess my statement is like, and I said this to you guys already, like, it's a game.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's a game. And I'm the least butthurt person you'll ever probably encounter in this game.
Yeah.
And I'm okay. I'm okay with the expectation that you guys are going to take each other. That's okay. You know what I mean? And, you know, there's no need to, like, I don't know. Yeah. Like, don't pity me and don't, like, you know, I don't know. You know what I mean?
You know I don't pity you.
Right.
I mean,
You know, just
no, I don't. I respect the heck out of you,
I
and
appreciate that.
And I'm thrilled.
I just don't want to be like the dope that I don't want you guys to think I'm like the airheaded dope that came along with you to final three, and I'm like, I'm winning, right? Like, that's my biggest fear. I don't want you guys like in another room, like, wow, this one.
Okay, Nicole.
I know, but this is just my hang-ups, and I just need to articulate them because
I know
that's how I feel.
Okay.
I don't really have a reaction to it. It's common sense. And the thing is, if it was Cliff and Jackson was somehow gone, it was just Holly would be feeling the same way about those two, right?
Yeah. Yes.
But she does get in a little plea.
But like my whole thing is like, I could take it. Like I'm a big girl. Like I know you guys have been together since the beginning. I wouldn't expect otherwise. You know what I mean? So like, yeah.
First of all, who knows how this week is going to play out?
I know.
I sure as shit don't. Second of all, we're at the very, very, very end, and no decision is going to be taken lightly.
I know that.
And we owe it, at least I think I owe it to myself and both of y'all. If God made me so lucky to even be in the position, That's
what I was telling you the other day. I'm like, just consider me.
Yeah.
If like you said, like I don't know how this week is gonna go. I don't know how anything's gonna go, but obviously, like if I do win, something, obviously I would consider both of you. I'd take everything into account.
Yeah.
And I just
No, you wouldn't.
hope that same chance.
Trust me, it has to be a consideration for. I mean, Mickey has quite the resume,
Mm-hmm.
and I know that, and I don't know. It's like,
Yep.
It might be a completely idiotic thing. I mean, I don't know. I have no idea what I would
hear
do
you, though.
if I were in that situation. I just know that going against him, with a lot of people who respect game and have vocalized.
What is this bitch
that
talking
even
about?
If he sent them out, they would still vote for him,
And rightfully so. Like
I know.
We've all gotten our spots here, but like,
Yeah.
What was that?
He's dominated.
I won some things, you've won some things, and he's won a lot of things.
Remember how I used to complain about how Christy never ended a sentence? It was a million words a second. Holly is
The new.
She is the. So let me think about how.
Because she's thinking, how is Twitter going to interpret my next word? How is Instagram going to make a meme out of the word I say next? Because she's not a 22-year-old, she's a little more hyper aware. We've talked about this before about what the world thinks of her and how things are, and it's bothered Jackson. She's talked about on the feed so many times. She's so worried about how she's portrayed, and I get it though. I get it. It's the world today when people are writing articles about how evil Dave Chappelle is or Bill Burr. You know, I'm just like, no wonder this girl's in there worried. And, you know, she's just a normal person. And these are people that are paid to be offensive, that are paid to be funny, that are paid to say things that are so uncomfortable that make us laugh at ourselves. And they are even being attacked by the world that we live in today. No wonder this chick is in there paranoid as fuck as to what people see on screen.
Who, being in pageants, has been in public eye before, not a big public eye. She understands that. I'm talking about Holly here. So yeah. Nicole gets done feeling sorry for herself in bed and gets up, and I actually really like this conversation that she has with Jackson about Jackson's game. It went on a lot longer than this clip is, but it's kind of funny.
You want to reminisce a little bit with me?
Sure.
Compare notes?
Sure.
Let's do it. What you got? Also, quick question. What did you mean when you said, you're good? I need to know.
You're good.
What the fuck does that mean, Nicole?
You're just very good at this game.
How so?
You got all your little duckies in a row, and you sniped them one by one. And it was very well done. Look at that smirk. Look at that smirk.
It's the way you say it that is so fucking amusing to me. It's so funny to me.
I'm impressed by you.
I don't know why. You give me that look. I'm impressed by you. And you're like waiting for a reaction. And that's what makes me laugh. But I would like an explanation. Give me some examples. What do you mean?
Like, you have the plan, and then you have the comp backup to execute.
What's my plan, though?
Step 1, disarm a lot of the people in this house. See? How'd you do it?
Sis.
Yep. Then, Jess. Then, luckily, in your favor, Christy.
No, thanks to you, not luck.
Then, luckily, also in your favor, Tommy.
Holly, please go to the diary room downstairs.
Rightfully so, Cliff. And I'm the next little ducky. This little ducky's very scared.
No, you're not.
But no, I'm not being like a smartass. Like, I really respect it. It's very well done. And I respect you and I respect your game. And
I respect your game more than I think you give yourself credit for.
This is probably true. Nick, you guys got rid of Nick. You disarmed everybody. Flawlessly.
Not flawlessly.
Pretty flawlessly.
That wasn't the goal. The goal was just to survive.
So Nicole pretty much wrote Jackson's jury speech there.
Yeah, I was going to say, why did you do this? Because you literally have just confirmed everything I've been saying for the past 3 weeks. Yeah, like, I mean, you're literally sitting there laying the case why he should win over you.
Sure, but why would you not tell that to the guy that's trying to decide whether to take you or the other person to make it seem like, well, you'll win if you go against me too, or you have a good shot if you go against me. Plus, send Holly to the jury, and she might be able to, you know, when she walks out for 30 seconds, have the chance to say, "Guys, vote for Jackson." I don't know.
Like
I
Annalise.
don't think Jackson's that. I think Jackson knows that Holly against him, if she had to like defend herself, he has a way better chance against Holly. Even though it's like,
but Nicole's
he has a way better chance against her, and also he knows that whole jury house loves Nicole. And he knows that a lot of them have a problem with Holly. He's not stupid.
No, but I'm just saying Nicole's doing what she feels. I guess Nicole's thought is she's trying to stroke his ego to keep him happy on the chance that he might take her if it comes to that. I think Nicole knows that she has to win. She has to get to the final two.
Oh, yeah. 100% she knows that. Yeah. No, but I didn't know it wasn't stroking his ego. It was stating fact.
Oh.
I think there's both there.
Yeah, I think there was some ego stroking going. You guys got out Nick because Jackson didn't get out Nick. It wasn't his head of household that he went out under. So,
but anytime she tried to give him credit, he's like, no, that was it. Like Christy. He tried to give it the Christy thing. He goes, no, that was, and then she'd say, oh, luckily, and he wouldn't negate anything that wasn't.
Now remember last week we played the clip where Jackson is saying, Nicole, you're the deciding vote on everything. Nicole, you're the one. So it's a tit for tat thing.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
Mike, this last clip from Thursday is yours. Why don't you introduce it?
Okay. This is
it's a question that's come up a number of times the last 48 hours.
It's happened several times, but just understand that it's don't take it too seriously. So just know that they're kind of half smiling at each other while they're doing this, but it has happened several times. As a matter of fact, it happened just before our show started again. A similar situation happened. So it's just Holly and Jackson. Holly seems to be doubting that maybe Jackson won't take her.
This is probably a very stupid question, but there's nothing she can say this week to make you want to take her over me, right?
I mean, I'm looking at jury. You have a lot of friends in jury, Holly.
You're not funny.
I'm not laughing.
Babe.
False.
You better be kidding. You are kidding, right?
I can't even win. You have a lot of friends in jury. Sis, Tommy, Jack, Nick. Nick might vote for me. Kat will vote for you over me. Jess will vote for you over me. Sis will vote for you over me.
You're so full of shit. You're so full of shit.
I'm dead ass serious.
No, you're not. Hey, that's not funny. Don't fuck with me.
6 days. 6 days.
If you don't take me,
that's fine.
Don't.
It would be hilarious if he did.
But he's looking at when he was saying 6 days. That 6 days look that he was giving Holly was not it was like, I can't wait to get with you outside of this house in 6 days. That's actually the look he was giving her. It had nothing to do with the finale at all. It was very much a sexual tension kind of a thing. So just take it with a grain of salt.
They've been fucking in the shower every day.
I know.
No, but there's only so much you can do when you know cameras are around and you've got one tiny corner. Imagine the second they get a room by themselves, a master bed, and no cameras.
Valid point.
They're going to have a good time, those two. Good for them.
Kind of like Kat and Nick, right?
Really?
Yeah, or well, I was going to say Love Island, but no, there are still cameras in there, like UK Love Island. There are still cameras in there when they finally get a room to themselves, they still do everything under the covers. But yeah, like I'm sure, like Jess and Cody, the second they got out of the house, there was some steam leaving under the door.
Central.
I'm sure.
There's an audio clip. There's a very brief audio clip, or audio break. It's video too, but they were in the shower in the past few days where for some reason the camera switched from like downstairs to the shower and you couldn't see anybody because the camera wasn't pointing at the shower, but you could certainly hear some noises going on. It was Jackson and Holly, and they were having quite a good time. So,
well, good for them.
Well, good for them. They like each other.
Some of their own
young. They're young. They like each other. They're good.
They have a stool.
Who cares?
Them in the
Who cares?
So Friday they were waking early, I should say, for the traditional Final Three brunch. I didn't think they were going to have it based on what Julie said at the end of Thursday's show. She goes, on Sunday, I will have an extensive interview with last year's Final Three of Tyler, Casey, and JC. Oh boy. And also
I totally missed that.
And also promised to show that first HOH comp in its entirety. She did say those words.
I think I think that means we're going to show you the end and we're not going to leave you on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I think that.
And then they also, during the week, they went in for extensive 2-hour diary room things, reliving the past season. So I'm surprised. I actually didn't think they were going to do the Final Three brunch thing, but they did. And so when the feeds came back, they were still eating. There's champagne brunch. And they talked about that HOH from the night before.
Right. Last night was so impressive. That set was unreal.
I'm still in awe. That's what I'm saying. Once I get past the fact that I failed, not failed, but I didn't do that great. So like that was a lot of fun. That was an amazing set.
That was an experience. I'm glad we got to do that.
That was one of the most fun things I've ever done in my life. Like, not even just like most fun comps. That was so fun.
It was so much fun.
Like, when in your life are you going to jump from
Exactly.
like rotating pillars?
Exactly.
Like, I was very like Nancy Drew, Indiana Jones-esque, and I loved it.
Mm-hmm. I felt like Laura Croft.
You looked like Laura Croft.
Like,
I say that to you all the time.
I know. I was told that in the before.
You looked like Laura Croft.
That I was a country Laura Croft.
They're going to show you guys like
Country
dramatic,
Laura
like
Croft.
dun-dun-dun-dun-dun music, and they're going to show me.
I literally felt like an action
This is so good.
hero, except it was way too exhausting where I was like struggling out. I was like gasping for air and like, so I probably didn't look as cool as I felt. This is so good.
No, you guys looked really cool. Believe me. Believe me. As one of our typical non-bionic folk, you guys were very impressive.
Non-bionic. We are far from bionic.
Definitely not bionic.
You guys freaking look like the bionic woman and man. That's what I felt like. I felt like you guys were moving in like fast motion. I was in slow
In fast motion.
Holly, you're a cute girl, but let's be real. You did not look like Laura Croft, let alone a country Laura
Here's the
Croft.
thing with Laura Croft. All it is about her is she's got long brown hair and she wears it in a ponytail in the back of her head. I think that's what she was talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think it was anything more than that. Because if you look at the two girls who played Laura Croft in the movie, they couldn't look more different, even from the video game person. Her identifying thing is a long brunette ponytail.
Yeah.
And I think that's what she was talking about. But
One of-
also, after this conversation, Nicole also went on and on about how much she appreciates how honest Jack was, and how Jack was a straight
Yeah, because they went through all the people in the house.
because he didn't bother making any deals with her when he was on the block. Nicole, he didn't make deals with you because you're insignificant and could do nothing for him. He was making deals with other people in the house, other movers and shakers, not you. So yeah, I just thought that was funny that of all people, Nicole was the one singing Jack's praises very loudly when we know her fans hate him.
Yeah, and they did there, and they have a lot over the last couple of days, just rehashed the entire season and going through.
And they were instructed to during this. I mean, that thing where they're like praising the comp and talking about how great it was and talking about how great the food was. It's because they were sort of instructed to go reminisce and say nice things for it being shown on the show. You know what I mean?
Sure. So the fees were back there for a little bit. They went down again because they also got family videos. I wonder if that's another thing that was supposed to happen last week.
Because
maybe. Remember, they did 4 segments of the house drama.
They did a lot of
So they got them with the fees are down. Jackson seemed to not like his, or
he got choked up. He had his cap down over his face. He's laying down. He's you see him, you hear him start sniffling and stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't. Go ahead.
You okay, Mickey?
Yeah.
You want a hug?
Not right now.
Well, it's coming anyway.
I just wish I wouldn't have seen that video.
Why not?
So what? I want to know what that video showed.
I said this. I feel like 8 weeks ago. I said that I had a feeling that his mom has a lot of control over him, and that he was also disciplined quite a bit by her. Because I see traits in him. I see just stuff in him about wanting to prove himself, wanting to work hard, and all that. That's a kid who was not left to run willy-nilly and is consoled and everything, or was put in a timeout. No, that was a kid that was raised appropriately, that wants to work hard, and deserve things. But I also think it went a little extreme, and I did make that joke about Mommy Dearest and whatever, and Joan Crawford and what in the past. And now we get this video. And I mean, I don't think the video was like, I'm so disappointed in you. And I don't doubt his mom is on social media. I'm wondering.
Oh, she is actually.
Okay. I don't know. I've never seen it, so I'm.
I think some people said
as far as that. But what I was going to say was, I wonder if I could see a woman like that, which is what my guess is to the way he grew up and the way he raised her. I could see a woman like that being very bothered with his relationship with the women in the house, with him getting involved with Kat and Holly at all. I could see her being bothered by that.
Funny you should mention that.
Okay.
Listen to the very end of this clip.
Oh, the next one?
Yeah, the feeds came back like 25 minutes later. The feeds come back, and he's still laying there, but Holly is now on, because Holly was in the diary room when that first clip was taken, but Holly's now out, and she's snuggled up to him, and he was kind of quiet for a little bit, but then all of a sudden he started choking up again, and that's where this next clip comes on, and it's an edited down clip over 2 or 3 minutes of him talking, trying to get the meat of what he was talking about.
I just want to make her proud.
I know, baby.
Just once. I know. I just want to see her smile because of something I did.
Wait till you see them next week, baby. I just don't see how they could.
You'd be amazed.
Maybe they just don't like me.
That was Holly?
Yeah. She said maybe they just don't like me. That was the very end of that.
Oh,
yeah.
I know when I brought this stuff up. It was with his food issues.
Yeah.
It was when he really started eating a lot and he literally it seemed like he gained 20 pounds in like 2 weeks. Yeah, no.
Yes.
But it was weird. It was weird. It wasn't normal. Just like I talked about earlier, I think that Nicole has something psychological with men. I think 100% Jackson has something psychological with his mom. There is something going on in that relationship that's weird. And here, actually, it's weird that I sort of predicted it 2 months ago, because here we're seeing the manifestation clearly. He's so scared of disappointing this woman and whatever she said. And it was probably kind of nice because it aired on CBS. Still, whatever it was, he didn't like it.
So just because I just listened to that clip again now, and I'm the one that got it. I know how hard it was to hear. So for those of you that didn't catch up, so Jackson saying, "I just want her to be proud.
I want
just
her
want
to
see
smile.
I want her to smile at something I've done." And Holly's like, "I can't believe your parents wouldn't be proud." And he'd say, "Oh, you'd be amazed," as in sarcastic, like, "Oh, you'd be amazed at how hard it is to please my parents." So it was all negative, negative, negative. And then she finishes up saying, "Maybe they just don't like me." So that was the.
By the way, I meant to mention this a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But somebody pointed out that in the season premiere, in the segments where they're all like getting their keys.
God, I haven't watched that. Do we see them?
Jackson and his mom, he's with his mom when he gets his key, he's eating watermelon.
I've got to go back and watch it now.
He's eating fucking watermelon. It's a real thing.
And that's so here's something to watch on Sunday night. Let's watch and see this, if they show this clip of Jackson watching, because I don't know if they're going to show. Maybe they will. They showed the "I miss my mama." Hey, I want to take a little bit of credit for last week. That clip about Miss Mama.
Yes.
Exactly what they showed. I knew that's exactly.
It's
what
like they took it from
Mama?
our show and aired it.
Yeah. It was so. But yeah, I want to watch that clip and see if she's looking very sternly at the camera, like, well, Jackson's doing quite well.
Yeah. So pretty much the rest of the day is not. I mean, and again, I every year the same people are the same, frustrated with the feeds. There's nothing happening on the feeds. Make them talk, game. Make them talk. No, there's 3 people left. Everybody knows their place. There's just a lot of hanging out, a lot of naps, a lot of like today they made tie-dyes. The game is pretty much over. They're just waiting for the finale, just like we are. So nothing really happened, except, as Colette put on the outline, Nicole is the new Cliff and constantly talking to the camera. She does. She's like, okay.
Oh, I turned on Big Brother After Dark last night. I was like, okay, we got to do the show. And I know they just, finished it. Let me catch up and see what's going on. And it was freaking Nicole just talking to the camera. And I was like, I can't do this for 3 hours.
Here's Nicole walking into the kitchen. here's Nicole. She's going to go into the bedroom now.
God. And she keeps doing this thing like, oh, Nicole's so stupid. She went to the end with the showmance. And then she laughs herself like, I'm the girl who went to the end with the showmance. And I'm like, why aren't you being like, I'm the girl who didn't play for 8 weeks and got myself in this fucking position? I mean, like, come on.
Yeah.
No, you didn't just accidentally ended up here. You designed this for yourself because you did nothing for 2/3 of the game. You had no choice but to end up with powerful people because those powerful people carried you to the end, you dumb bitch.
That's right.
So on the other side, it's her in the house by herself with a showmance who are on top of each other. So she's got no one to talk to. I don't blame her for talking to the camera a little bit. I'd be doing it if it was just me. And if it was Cliff, God knows he'd be doing it. So, be annoyed.
Cliff's a suck-up panderer wanting to be on podcasts.
Yes.
But
Does Nicole know that?
Right. And again, the feeds are always boring this time of year.
Yes.
I don't. Okay, I just get tired of the. Here's Nicole walked into the room. Here's Nicole walked in the room. You're right. She's got nothing else to do. She's all by herself. And it's no different than last year.
I just don't want to throw. Nicole fans are a bunch of there's a not all of them, but a hell of a lot of them are just a nut job.
Say it, you did.
A bunch of Nicole fans are nut jobs, but Nicole is not necessarily a nut job. Yes, I said it. Come after me. I don't care. No. I'm just saying it's not.
Nicole, I'll be honest.
Lots of reasons to bash Nicole, but talking to the camera isn't that big of a one for.
And I'll be honest. Nicole would not appreciate the way a lot of her fan base acts.
No. She'd say, "You guys don't be that way."
That's right.
No.
The only other thing of
But what she'll do instead is thank them, just like Kemi did.
No, I don't think so. If people point out what they were doing, she'll say, "You guys, you should have done that." Anyways, let's move.
The only other thing of note is at 11:18 Big Brother time on Big Brother After Dark, we did get a little peek at the partially constructed HOH comp, which is happening as we're recording right now, and it appears to be a day's competition of sorts.
It looks like it. Colette, did you see the image or not? I mean, I saw it.
I did. It made no sense to me, but I mean, it would make sense that it was a memory comp.
Yeah, there were days listed. It looked like there was electricity, pictures on the wall, and it was a big picture of a big brain, and there was different days, like day 11, day 20, day 14, or whatever. So whether they have to climb the wall and put pictures up, or if they just have to, I don't know what they're going to have to do. But it generally is days, things that happen in a day. So it's a partially mental, probably a little bit physical competition. That's kind of generally what it is. I think that it may favor Nicole as long as the physical part of it isn't too much. Because Holly just doesn't seem to be good at remembering crap. She's the one who says.
And Holly hasn't been studying it all. Nicole has been looking. Right. Her and Cliff, sometimes together, sometimes apart, would spend hours looking at the memory pictures and talking about days. And Cliff
and Holly talked about her ADD, and apparently she's probably the only unmedicated ADD person in the house if she's talking about it. So
yeah.
She won't be able to focus very well.
All right. Well, the funny thing about today is we almost did not have a single clip to play because they were just waiting for the comp, which is typical on a POV day, even though this is not POV.
Right.
A Saturday comp is pretty much just waiting for it to happen. And when there's only 3 people, that's exasperated that much more. There was some solitaire played. There was some chess played. There was, a lot of sleeping. Mid-afternoon, they were told to get their climbing shoes. So that's the only hint at the comp that they got. But we do have a mystery clip.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
This is a clip for you, Colette.
Yes.
What?
What? Yes.
Surprise.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
This is for you.
If it's Tom Green, I'm going to kill you.
No, it's not. It's from the feeds. It's from the feeds. We want you to tell us what is happening here. Okay?
Oh, God. Okay.
No. I don't even want you to touch me. No, please. I'm so scarred. That's disgusting. I don't like it. No, please. No. Oh, my God. I'm panic attack. No. Oh, my God. god, it's so fucked up. I've gone the whole summer avoiding it. No, please. No, I'm gonna burn these socks. Do not. No, please. That's just cruel. I don't want it to touch me. No. They know I've gone the whole summer avoiding it. I won't even pick it up. Like I use like paper towels to pick it up.
All right, do y'all want to go downstairs?
Yeah.
Why
we're
is
gonna
that
have a
coming
tie-dye
with us?
party.
I mean, I don't know what y'all are gonna do, but I'm not joining.
So Nicole, Colette, what was happening in that clip?
Okay, the only reason I think I know the answer is because I have seen tweets, and actually somebody tweeted me something about. Apparently, people are now complaining to TMZ about this clip.
Oh my God!
Was that saying that that like Jackson was trying to maybe rape Nicole? Was that the sex stool? Was that the sex stool?
He was chasing her around with the stool.
Yeah,
he was holding it over her, and
I literally just got a tweet from somebody that was saying that they complained to TMZ
oh my
that he was trying to corner her with a sex stool, which would then imply sexual things are going to happen. So, but no, I did see a tweet from somebody earlier that that Nicole had joked about. No, I've avoided it all season. I did see that a few hours ago.
Can I just say right here, to all of you Big Brother Gossip listeners, never contact TMZ for something that happens on the Big Brother live feeds.
Oh, I would hope that our listeners are smarter than that.
Yeah.
Hope, right?
I hope so. Yeah, it was all fun.
Nicole looks over and says, "Why is that going with us? Why are you bringing the stool with us? And I'm not participating in whatever you're planning on doing." It was all in fun. It was just, oh my God. I tweeted. I said Jackson is now, quote, air quotes, attacking Nicole with the stool. And
you started this? You started
and a picture. And people were like freaking out.
Oh, now watch your picture be put on TMZ.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious.
Your screenshot. According to Big Brother Gossip.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Was attacking Nicole with his sex tool, meaning to rape her downstairs before they tied her. All your fault, Mike.
Yes. Yep, my fault. Well, that was the one clip that we managed to get.
So yeah, and that pretty much catches us up right after we started recording. The second HOH comp began, so we do not have the results of it. So we're gonna spend a couple minutes on the scenarios before we sign out of here. So we're gonna go through the third part of these HOH comps are always jury quotes of some sort. It used to be kind of, it's always been, did they say this or that? That was the comp for a lot of things, and there's been variations of that. So let's say Holly wins this second one. So there would be Jackson versus Holly in that part 3. Who would win that? Mike?
What? Who versus who?
Jackson versus Holly in that final HOH comp.
Quotes.
In the jury quotes comp.
Yeah, I think production does not want Jackson to win, but if it's Jackson versus Holly, Jackson pretty much has to win, doesn't he? He's totally carried Holly for most of the season. She's won a couple of things. What I would say is, and this will go with any of them, Holly had a decent game going about halfway through.
No, this is not who wins.
Oh.
This is who wins that comp. In the jury quotes competition, if it's Jackson versus Holly.
See, I kind of think that this is a silly question.
Doesn't matter.
This is always
They're
like
taking
you
each
have
other.
no idea. This is a crapshoot. That
No,
comp is
I have
a
an
crapshoot
opinion.
for anybody. I feel like.
No, I have an opinion, but between Jackson and Holly, they won't
It
care.
doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
They're taking each other. There's no way they're not taking each other. So I don't even know.
Okay. Jackson versus
Scott.
Nicole then.
What's that? Jackson versus Nicole?
I think Nicole would win that comp.
I think Nicole will win that comp. That's what I'm thinking.
I think it's a total. Nobody can guess. I don't. That's not. It's not one person smarter than another. Because I've thought in the past someone was going to win, and then the opposite person win. And I remember earlier this season they did those quotes, and I remember being surprised at who did well and who didn't. So I think it's a silly thing to predict because you can't predict it because it's
the thought is that who knows the other house guests better, Jackson. If I'm going to bring those two, I would pick Nicole. I would pick Nicole if she makes it to the final thing, I think she would beat either of the other two just for but Nicole and Holly, I'm not sure. But it won't be Nicole and Holly. It has to be Nicole or Jackson.
I think Nicole with Jackson in this.
Okay, well, I am going to throw some virgins on the fire and write something on a piece of parchment paper with my quill, and I will say that Jackson will win. There you go.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Just to put it in the universe.
So let's then go through the various final two scenarios.
Okay.
Jackson versus Holly. Who wins? I think
that's what I started to talk about.
I think Jackson beats Holly.
I think Holly had a decent game up until about the halfway point or wherever, and then she kind of fell off. When she was covering Jackson's ass, when he was about to get, when the 6 shooters were breaking up and all that, I thought Holly was the one who actually managed to pull that out of the fire, and I thought she was doing a good job. But I think Jackson's been the comp beast and tearing it up since then. So I think Jackson beats Holly.
Colette?
I think Jackson wins, and I think that also because Holly is a girl, and I think that does work against. I do think sex does work against you sometimes. And also, they could make the argument that, oh, well, Jackson carried her or she was sleeping with him, and that will be used against her. Holly wasn't a completely useless player like Jessica or Nicole. She did do some things. She did win some comps. But no, I do think that is the one case that I think Jackson will walk away with it. But I do think part of the reason is because Holly is a girl.
I do think Jackson wins in that scenario because they're going to say Holly did whatever Jackson wanted. I do think that throwing that comp last week is going to hurt her.
Yeah. Yep.
I think the people in the jury are going to see that and go, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think in that scenario, Jackson wins. But
unless she explains it the way I explained it, unless she has the wits to be like, "Look, I know that HOH actually has no power that week. I did it to make a bold risk. I did it to give us."
There you go. That's good.
6%. She needs to play that. She needs to use my argument and do that. And then that'll make her be like, oh, shit, she's a ballsy risk taker, which I don't even think it was her move, but that's the way she should play it to negate that.
I don't think
oh, shit, you suck. No, and I don't think she has the wherewithal to do that.
She's not good at speaking.
No. For some reason, for someone who's been in pageants and on TV and had to give these answers in like a bikini and an evening gown, for some reason, she's really bad at giving speeches on Big Brother.
So, Jackson versus Nicole. I think Nicole wins handily, even though I don't think it's deserved. Mike, what do you think?
I think Nicole will probably win, but it partly might. So here we go. After all this bitching about production being involved in everything, and we're like, they aren't trying to help Jackson win. I think production doesn't want Jackson to win. So I think if it ends up being Nicole versus Jackson, I think that they will try to ask questions and talk people into things like, well, maybe why wouldn't you vote for? I think they will push it so that
I think it's Holly, a 5-4 thing in a Nicole.
Yeah, I haven't looked at notes. I think Holly might have a chance, and I think I've said this before.
No, Jackson, Nicole.
Nicole. I think Nicole might have a chance. I think it goes back to like Ian from Big Brother 14 when he didn't do a whole lot at the beginning and then he kind of game on. I really think Nicole's going to have to hang her hood on her double eviction when she got out Christy. That was a big move, and she kind of just stuck to her guns through that whole thing. But she's going to have to win this last part to get to that, to say I also won this one too.
Okay. Anything to add, Clark?
Yeah, Jackson and Nicole. See, here's the thing. I don't know. And if you asked me 2 weeks ago, I would have said 100% Nicole wins. Or actually 2 or 3 weeks ago, I would have told you Nicole wins hands down. And then I saw Christy leave and say, before she even got to the jury house, when she's sitting next to Julie, see her talking about what a great player Jackson is. And then I see actually Nick doing the same thing. Or when we did visit the jury house, I saw Jack talking about how great Jackson is. And then it's like, well, I know sis, she's
Hates Nicole.
She's susceptible to the dick. So I could see, I mean, she hates Jackson, but I could also see Jack being like, hey, baby, pump, 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 pump. Take that, baby. You know what? Jackson actually played a better game. He won this. Pump, pump, pump. Fucking her into submission is what I'm saying. But then
I like the visual there.
And, Kat, and this is what pissed me off about Kat. Is I just don't want Jackson. I just don't want Jackson. Okay, she's a scorned woman. All right, so she's not going to vote for him. But then we get, last week, I saw different things. Like, whereas Christy was so actually gung-ho Jackson, and even Tommy at one point said what a great game Jackson played and all that. And then I think even maybe Jessica, I want to say I heard her say that, but I'm not sure. Then we get now to the house, and we see last week, and I hear totally opposite opinions. But I also know that CBS does this on purpose. I know that CBS wants us to think that, oh, you know what? I'm flipping back and forth. I don't know. That is totally scripted. It's totally planned. They need to build up the drama. They can't do these jury segments 2 weeks before we see the finale and have everyone say, I'm voting Nicole to win. And then we go into it knowing, oh, well, they're all voting Nicole. Like, no, they're not going to let us think that. So I am decidedly undecided, but even though I've kind of said all along, I will think it's a miracle if Jackson does win, even though I think he 100% deserves it. I know bitter juries are our new norm. I know everybody's triggered, and Jessica's Jessica, so
Jessica won't know how to vote. Let's be honest.
Jessica will always go for a girl over a boy, but also remember how she was in the house, though. I'll never vote out a girl. Remember, she's got that.
But she also had a jury house video where she goes, if I was to do it all over again, I'd target Nicole.
Yeah.
Yes. Again, who knows? So I'm not comfortable calling the Jackson and Nicole thing.
Yeah, it's tough.
I'll just do more virgins on the fire. But no, I seriously, I don't know. I don't know.
It's funny because I've gotten a lot of replies saying so-so's definitely doing this and so-so does this and so.
No, CBS wants us to.
You don't really know. You don't really know. Okay, finally, this would be a horrible final too. Nicole and Holly. Can we vote none of the above in that case? I don't know what people would do there.
Nicole.
You think it'd be Nicole?
Yeah, I think.
I think the Holly being Jackson under Jackson's thumb does hurt her a lot.
Right.
Yeah, but then again, I don't know. That's a tough one. I don't know.
Wait, isn't this empowering? A 2-woman finale? When was the last time we had that? This would be awesome. Why isn't anyone saying that? When was the last 2-woman finale?
Yeah, but not these 2 women.
Yeah, no, but you had someone who didn't do much, and then someone who had someone else. They both had men carry them all the way. So it's not badass women.
No.
I wish it was, but no.
Wait till we talk about this on Friday, huh? This will be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think that's another 5-4.
I'm just thankful Twitter's not voting for the winner. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know if I want to say that because I don't know if this jury is going to be bitter. I mean, I know who deserves it, but that doesn't mean that Tyler lost last year. So there you go.
So a couple pieces of trivia to add here after we've talked about this. The person who has won part 1 has only gone on to win the game 6 times, and it has not happened since season 13. So that's bad for Jackson. And Maggie, which was season 6, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Maggie season 6 is the only person to ever win the game without winning either of them, either part 1 or 2. So I know it has nothing to do with this season, but
that's right. That's the thing. It's just.
Well, wasn't there a big thing about the first person through the door? Wasn't that a curse? And then Tamar won. So it was blown, right?
Yes, but some people are discounting the Tamar because that was celebrity. So they're still willing to.
It's Big Brother. It's Jolie Chen. It's a house. It's cameras.
What about the 4th person that's on the right side of the picture?
I know. Exactly.
Remember, I figured all this out. There are a couple.
Who took a poop first in the house? What
There
happened
are
to
a couple of positions that were still available, but I haven't looked them up this year to remember who they are.
Okay, well, before we end this, are we picking an America's Favorite House guest? I know who I'm picking, despite the recent turn.
Really?
I think we all ought to go out on our own because I have a feeling we're all pretty.
I'm going with Kat.
I know you are. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I was going to until the last episode, and I saw just what a dummy she's being about everything, about voting the winner and about fucking Nick. I can't.
Well, who don't we want to win America's Favorite House guest? Cliff, right?
Nicole.
I don't care about Nicole as much. I didn't feel Nicole was pandering. I feel like Cliff's been pandering. I don't think Nicole is trying to win America's Favorite. I thought Cliff was. I don't want Cliff to win. So
I think,
whatever.
well, judging by the polls, Nicole has
But
it.
I will say I would rather Cliff win America's Favorite Player over Nicole if Nicole doesn't win one of the top two, just to piss off her fans. That would bring me joy.
What about Cammie?
Just to piss off Nicole's fans. No. I've seen the polls. She's not even in like the top.
Okay,
Jackson's even
I'm
ahead of
getting
Cammie.
tweets that I have to vote for Cammie.
No, Jackson is beating Cammie in polls. So that's no.
All right. Well, let's get out of here. Again, we will be back Friday for our season finale. I'm so happy the season's over. It's been fun. It actually has been a much better season than I thought it was going to be.
It wasn't. There was strategy. People were playing the game.
Yeah. Once we got through the first handful of weeks, it turned into a great season. But I'm ready. I'm always ready at the end of September. I always am.
So ready.
So, all right, let's do our little plugs and get out of here. Colette?
You can follow me on Twitter at Colette Lala, ColetteLala. I tweet year-round about everything, about all TV shows, Real Housewives and whatnot. And follow me on at Colette Lala, same name. Send me a little DM. I got some last week. Thank you very much, kids. I also got a lot of messages from you guys about Big Brother, about other stuff, asking me TV questions. That was nice. Facebook.com/Colette.Lala. Make sure you check out Day Drinking and check it out now. Like, seriously, just give us $2 for the whole summer and be like, all right, thank you for doing your Big Brother Gossip Show for the summer. That's good. Here's $2. And then we're going to give you instructions on how to listen to everything and stay up to date on TV for the rest of the year. So go to patreon.com/Big Brother Gossip.
Mike?
Oh, you can follow me on Twitter, BBGOSSIP. And that's about it. And once the show ends, I won't be talking.
You're going to
about
hibernation.
much. I go into semi-hibernation. Last year, I kind of hung around a little bit and did a little bit of car casting on a different account, but I get pretty quiet. So yeah, I don't watch. I may watch Survivor. I may do stuff, but yeah, just follow me on Twitter, BBGOSSIP. You can always email me at ilovereality@gmail.com, and I generally try to answer those as well. So there you go.
All right. Well, my Twitter, Big Brother Gossip without the E. So it's BIGBROTHRGOSSIP. Also have another one, Paul is Dead, PAULISDED. That's also my Instagram. Unlike Ms. Lala, you don't have to send me a DM. You can add me anytime. I have a little show called The Ledge. You can get info at scotthudson.blogspot.com. And by the way, this next week's Ledge is going to be so good. There is a Replacements box set coming out. Can you imagine how excited this Replacements fanatic is? It comes out Friday, the night I do the show. Oh boy, I'll be playing lots of tracks from it, along with other things. Beatles Abbey Road comes out, reissue comes out Friday. So that's it for me. scotthudson.blogspot.com. And with that, we are done, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Thanks for listening. Appreciate it.
Glad I'm waiting.
Oh, bye, bitches.
All right. I'll see you bitches later.